I was 15 years old when I convinced my older cousin to accompany me to the Minecraft convention in Paris. It didn't end well. Hey, my name is Quinten, and if you want to be online friends and light each other's day up, you can of course subscribe and click the bell in case anything goes up on the channel. 5 years ago, I was 15 years old and I had already been an active Minecraft player for 2 years at the time. I was so passionate about everything in the whole Minecraft scene that when I found out there was going to be Minecon, the Minecraft convention, hosted by the official Minecraft team in Paris, I wanted to go so badly. Of course, at the time I thought, you know what, I'm never going to be able to go there, it's too far, I'm only 15. But then my 17 at the time cousin said, I would love to go there too. We ended up pursuing both of our mothers to let us go, travel down to Paris on our own to visit the Minecraft convention. We promised that we would take care of everything to the finest detail of the entire trip. My mom ended up planning the whole trip. We did nothing. The day that we would travel down to Paris had finally come. We traveled to Amsterdam where we would take the Thalys, which is basically a high-speed international train. You don't need a passport or anything because it's still within the European Union, but you just need to have your ID card like you always do. The first problem we had was my cousin forgetting her ID card. We were in huge panic and I just said, you know what we're just gonna do? We're just gonna get into the train. If they don't check or anything, we're just gonna not address it at all. We got up into the train, people started walking by being like, checking things, and we're like, oh god, no, because we were already in the train and everything. Ended up only checking the tickets, which we of course had. We traveled over to Paris and there we took way too long to find out what metro would go to Disneyland, which was the place where it would all be held. We shared a hotel room in Disneyland and the hotel room had 3 beds, a 2-person bed and 2 bunk beds. The bunk beds were only meant to help people who were up to 50 kilograms, but I was already over that, but my cousin's not that big, so she ended up taking that. I ended up taking the 2-person bed. Okay, listen. This is the thing that we still talk about up to this day. I only like to have 1 pillow, not like a bunch of them, so I gave the rest of the pillows to her. She had like 4 pillows, I had 1. I lay down, and just like in movies and cartoons and everything, I lay down and my head just goes poof! The pillow was like a piece of clay, or like a quicksand where you slowly sink in. It didn't have the texture of a pillow at all. It was like, and not like just a fluffy pillow or anything. So I said to her, this is just the worst pillow ever. Ended up being just that one. We traded pillows and she was like, this is the most insanely heavy pillow there is. And I was like, I know. And she smashed it into a wall and it gave a sound that was like, boom! Like more of a sound than a pillow hitting a wall should ever make. We still talk about that pillow. Anyway, Minecraft convention was great. I met a lot of my favorite Minecraft YouTubers at the time. 15-year-old Quinten was super incredibly happy. But then came Sunday. The Sunday would be the day that we would have to return home. Basically, the Thalys, the international train, is, well, bound to a certain time. You reserve it for a certain time because it's not just like a normal train that comes every half hour or so. So we wouldn't be able to make it to the closing ceremony. But I was like, it's such a shame to miss the whole closing ceremony. There was like a contest too that we enrolled and they were gonna announce the contest there. I was like, you know what, we both agreed like we can see the first half hour or so. So we just sat there and everything looking at the time and you're like, okay, you know what, we're just gonna have to go. So we left and then we went outside and we noticed that we had very little time. Like we were getting to the point where it was a little bit creepy actually. First off, we couldn't find the bus. We had to go to the station. We already had all of our stuff. We checked out of the hotel room, but we couldn't find the bus. There was a bus. We were completely convinced there was that one. So we quickly hopped on because, you know, time was running out. Wrong bus. It was the wrong bus. We ended up who knows where in Paris, a place where we'd never been. I started to panic. She was like, no, it'll be fine. I was genuinely panicking. I was just pacing a bit like, oh no, oh my god. Because if we miss that train, how are we gonna get home? We don't have money. We don't have anything because we had nothing. Our payment cards don't work over there. Our phones didn't either. We ended up hopping out, finding another bus that would take us back to the main station, but it was not like the main station where the Thalys would go from. There was a metro, and according to the schedule, the metro was gonna leave in 5 minutes of time, and that was exactly like we would make the Thalys immediately. We hopped onto the metro, we were like, just in time, and we looked and it was gonna leave in 1 minute. We thought, yes, we are gonna make this, but the metro didn't go, and the metro stayed, and the metro stayed, and the metro stayed, and I was getting a lot more nervous. I was like, oh my god, why is it not going? Because it wasn't going, and it wasn't going. It ended up going 15 minutes later. I thought, oh my god, we have so little time right now. We have so little time. We had to transfer in the middle to another underground, and it wasn't arriving, and it didn't come, because apparently they're not really time bound over there either. I was at this point really panicking. My cousin was still like, oh, we'll make it. She was like all calm. I was just walking around. I was insanely nervous about everything, because my mom would get so mad if I missed that train. Clearly, obviously, understandably so. We ended up at the main station where the Thalys would go from. We had a couple of minutes left to to catch the train. We were running across the whole thing. We heard French all around us that neither of us spoke. We ran and we looked and we saw the tellers there. We're like, yes, we're gonna make it. We ran, and it left right in front of our eyes. The 130 euro, which at the time was an insane amount for us, train that would take us home, left. We had no money. Calling home cost like €1 a minute at the time. So I'm like, oh my god. We go over to the lady that was like running the thing and everything, and we explain the whole thing that happens. And in her broken English, she answered to us, okay, you know what? She saw that we were panicking, we were kids. She was gonna allow us to go into the next train and change our tickets for free. Only catch, there weren't any seats left. We would have to travel in the things between the trains that were basically just meant for luggage. There were some seats that you can like pull from the wall, but basically it was just the luggage train. We take it. We'll take it. Absolutely. We need to go home. Only thing, from Amsterdam when we would get back, there would be no train back home. So I had to call my mother and tell her what had happened. She was insanely angry. She and her friend ended up picking us up with the car in the middle of the night because my mom can't drive. Basically, we met some interesting people along the way back home. We met a couple of people who we would later on play Minecraft with who were also Dutch and also at the convention. And I was talking to this quite interesting woman whose daughter was the Australian champion of horse riding. Something like that. By the way, her husband was English but wanted to learn Dutch. So every time she would say something to him in English, he would say, "What is dat in het Nederlands?" with like a big accent. It was fun. We got back. My mom was angry. She didn't really care about how the convention was at the time. And I wasn't allowed to leave the city anymore until I was 16. Ah, pleasant times. Please let me know down below in the comments, what would you have done in this situation? Special thank you to Matt Schwappel. And also, since I changed my name, my friend who has a design company who has made things like this and this and this made this for me. And if you're looking for a designer and you want to hire him, you can find his contact in the description. It's not a sponsor, by the way, just a shout out. And if you want to see videos like this every Wednesday and Saturday, you can of course subscribe and join our nice little community. But above all, I really hope you just like this video and I would love to see you next time.